News. Variety. Information. Now, keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
Hi, I'm Fran Darkington. When I need news, I pass the rest and tune to the source, WOCA.
Visit the WOCA website at www.woca.com. Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
It's Tuesday. It's a normal day. It's a weekday, a work day, a school day. It's Tuesday. 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this morning. It's March 3rd.
Wow, time is flying
3/3/15. March 3rd, 2015. Good morning, Robin. How are you?
Good. It's all divisible by 3 today.
What does that mean? Common denominator?
That's it.
You know, this morning in my dreams, in my sleep or whatever, that this song was playing. It was telling me to get up. I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not kidding. I actually had the theme song. I had my theme song in my dream. That was weird.
Wow.
Get up, get up, get up. I'm thinking, oh man, that's payback from somebody out there who hates when I do that. I guess.
Yeah.
We got a good show this morning. A lot of good things to talk about. The first thing is a very, very useful bit of information. It's 10 minutes worth of useful information from Sandra Thompson. She is the Deputy Director of the Division of Housing, Mission and Goals at the Federal Housing Finance Agency. You might be in a predicament where you are afraid that your house is going to go away because you've fallen back on your payments. So there's some other financial difficulties that you've been going through. Well, there is a program you might have heard about it called HARP. A perfect instrument because an angel plays a harp in many paintings.
Yes, they
do.
do.
These would be your angels to help you out of your circumstance. How to apply for the Home Affordable Refinance Program, which is what HARP stands for. Home Affordable Refinance Program, and why it is beneficial to take advantage of HARP. So if you are right now in one of those predicaments where you listen to Robert and I and you say, how can they have so much fun? My world is falling apart. Well, first of all, that's just the way the world is. You know, some people are having fun while other people are having a hard time. But we of course want to help you with that hard time. And so we've invited Sandra Thompson to come on to talk about HARP. I think it's a very important topic. A few years ago when you heard about many, many people going through this, it was the talk every day. There are still many people, but not as many. So it still needs to be talked about. And so I'm really happy that she said yes to our request.
Yeah.
8:35. And, just go back to that for a second, because there's not a whole lot we can do. Robin and I, not a whole lot we can do. I mean, if we were gazillionaires, just come to us and we'd say, sure, here you go, here's a check.
Yeah.
But the truth is, we're not. The best thing we can do is provide you with information and find the people who have that information, which is the rabbit hole we went down to find Sandra. So, 8:35 News Bites. This is where we read the news. Simple as that. It's not always good news. Once in a while, I'll throw in a lighter story, and usually Robin reads it. But
You read some occasionally.
I know. Carol Ann Baldwin, I'm sorry, at 9:05, she is a master gardener. The show is called In the Garden with Carol Ann. I always loved that program, and got a couple things I wanted to ask Carol Ann about my own yard. Had some bugs in the backyard the other day that looked pretty cool, like alien beings.
Yeah. Yep. Climbing on your gazebo webbing there. That was pretty cool looking.
And then, what was the other thing? Oh, the orange tree. I think it's time to pick the oranges. They look pretty good.
They do, and some are falling.
The skin is thin on those oranges, but the fruit tastes good.
Yeah, like clementines. The skin is
Bob
thin.
Kennedy will be here at 10:05. This guy knows his real estate stuff too, so maybe I'll throw in a little bit. If I have any questions about HARP in the little 10-minute interview with Sandra that I don't quite understand, I'll ask Bob. But you are all invited to call Bob Kennedy at 10:05. He's from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty. Damage control. Joe Reichel helps you fix the things that are wrong with your house. Maybe you've got a leaky faucet. Maybe you've got a worse than a leaky faucet. Maybe it's leaking but not dripping into the sink.
Yeah.
You know, a leak in the sink is not a bad place to have a leak because it's going to go right out the drain. But having it under the counter or anywhere. Anyway, that's what he does for a living. He fixes homes, and he'll give you some advice if you're trying to do it yourself, and let you know when it's time to just say, you know what, swallow your pride and get a professional.
Exactly.
Dr. Angelo E. Volandes is coming on at 11:05. Dr. Volandes is a physician and researcher at Harvard Medical School in Massachusetts. He's written a book called The Conversation. It's a revolutionary plan for end-of-life care. Mm-hmm. That's the conversation I want to have. The conversation I want to have. My life is ending. This is what I want you to do.
Yep.
Fun with Joe today. Interesting, although I hope I have enough questions. If not, I do have a lightning round to follow this. But when inventors invent things, one of the things I thought about with creative people, sometimes they're not the best salespeople. Mm-hmm. And so if you've got the kind of a mind that can invent a thing, you might not have the kind of a mind that can sell that thing that you have invented.
Yeah.
Wasn't Steve Jobs a good example of this? He had to have other people help sell his Apple products. Okay.
Yes, he did.
And so it's not unusual to be having a partnership between a creative person and a salesperson. Mm-hmm. So when the creative people who invented things went to the patent office with the descriptions of what they were patenting, you would have never sold one of them if it was based on these descriptions.
Exactly.
So I'm going to tell you the description that was submitted to the patent office, and you have to tell me what the object was that was being patented.
Oh, cool.
Okay, what the device was, what the product was, whatever it was, okay?
Cool.
And then when Galen Unol is on with us in about 40 minutes or so, Pablo Sandoval, is that his name? Is that how you say his name, from the Red Sox?
I think so.
Was it a $1 million third base guy, or multi-million dollars, right? He just signed a deal. Well, they're saying he's got a bit of a weight problem. He's got a belly.
Oh.
He's got a big belly.
Oh, and that's the problem?
Well, no, apparently not. There's this discussion that we have our share of overweight, out of shape athletes that are more athletic than you are. That's the title of the piece.
Wow.
To athletes, out of shape athletes that are more athletic than you are. Funny. It's not funny, really. It's an interesting one, really.
It's very, because he must be doing a good job to earn that kind of money.
You would think.
Yeah.
Of course. So that's Galen's world of expertise, especially since this guy's a Red Sox. Then it's really focused in on Galen,
That's
you know.
right.
So we'll do that. In this segment, following Sandra Thompson, by the way, she will not be on with us the whole half hour, which is coming up in just a little bit. The second half of the first half hour, between 7:45 and 8, I want to talk about Jesus. There was a show. I don't know if it's a series of shows on CNN. Do you know, Robin? Do you watch CNN at all? Do you see the promos and anything?
I haven't seen any of those promos.
There was a show that started on Sunday, and it might have been the only one, or maybe there's a series of them, called Finding Jesus: Faith, Fact, Forgery. It premiered on this past Sunday. I don't know if there's more than one of them or not. Mm-hmm. But there's a Reverend James Martin who wrote an article that was published on the internet. And he writes about 5 things you didn't know about Jesus, and some things that you might hear about Jesus in different books that you should just ignore because there's nothing in the Bible that supports some of these things, like he took a walk to India, or that he was married to Mary Magdalene, or what was the other one I read earlier this morning?
Yeah, there's always that, man-woman thing circulating all
there are
the time.
people. Now, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on Jesus. Easter's coming up, what, April 5th? Easter's coming up?
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, there it is right there. I printed it up so I wouldn't forget. Okay.
April 5th.
April 5th is Easter. And, if you just looked at Jesus as a man, you never really thought of him as a deity, as this something higher than the rest of us, it would be hard to argue that his philosophy was anything you could disagree with. I mean, there might be a few points. There was a couple points I had issues with. Mm-hmm. Like when his mother went to the door and he said, well, I don't remember what they said, but I remember I had an argument. Not an argument, but a question about it,
Right, exactly.
And I still don't understand a lot of it. But the point is, most of his teachings, whether you believed he was the Son of God or not, would be something you would say, well, that's a pretty good lesson, Mm-hmm. Treat each other with kindness and forgive each other, et cetera, et cetera. But I do think he was more than a man. I really do. My conclusions were, I was a hard-headed person to convince in this. Even though I went to Sunday school as a kid, as I got older, I started saying, are you sure he rose from the dead? Are you sure that happened? I mean, are we sure this happened? Well, I kind of feel like I am sure. If I told you I knew it, then I'd be lying to you. But I feel like I am sure. I mean, there's so much evidence. There's the Shroud of Turin, or whatever however you pronounce it. I read it wasn't a big book. I read this big study, though, on the Shroud. And anyway, so 5 things. This is according to the Reverend James Martin. I like what he wrote. I want to share it with you, and so we'll do that. So we'll talk about Jesus the second half of the first half hour.
Okay.
Okay, deal? Anything else I need to tell you?
I don't know.
Oh, I have one thing here. Did you see this painting? A guy did a painting of Bill Clinton, and he has revealed...
Yes.
The guy's name is... what's the guy's name? The painter whose portrait of former President Bill Clinton hangs in the National Portrait Gallery snuck a covert reference to Monica Lewinsky in it. Nelson Shanks, the celebrity painter, told the Philadelphia Daily News in an interview published on Sunday that his portrait of Clinton that he did in 2006 shows on the left side of the painting a shadow, which is the shadow of Monica Lewinsky's famous blue dress. How you would have known that, I don't know. All right, we'll be right back. Funny story. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addresses Congress today.
During a speech to the pro-Israel lobby group AIPAC, Netanyahu said the purpose of the speech
is to speak up about a potential deal with Iran that could threaten the survival of Israel.
Netanyahu also said the alliance between Israel and the United States has never been stronger.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland, dozens of Democrats plan to skip the speech. Old Man Winter couldn't keep car buyers away.
February auto sales numbers are released today and forecast to have spiked despite relentless snow and sub-zero temps across much of the nation. Analysts are calling for 8 to 9% growth for the month, with almost 1.3 million new cars and trucks sold.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso. More wicked weather in store today for the upper Midwest, up to 6 inches of snow possible. Fox News. We report, you decide.